And there we are. Welcome to GTT Live, and we don't know what the fuck we're doing. I'm Rich from Gun Torture Tests and Red Fork Ammo. You guys already know about me. And my co-host, my chubby buddy, my hetero life mate, OmniFox. Hey, man.
Здравствуйте. I hang out with Rich online a lot. We moderate guns on Reddit, and I'm just a gun nerd and a general nerd and a Can you turn that down? The wife turned on the stream in the other room, and she kind of said it a little too loud.
Okay, so about the show, if you want to interact with us, you can click the Q&A link on the live stream, and it will take you to a special screen just for special people. You can also interact with us on Twitter using hashtag GTT Live. I'm looking at Twitter right now, and I'm about to open up the Q&A app so I can see. And beyond that...
We're also on IRC, on FNet. FNet is only net. And you also can interact with us on Reddit. I've got both screens open so we can talk to people.
And there we go. Okay, so we're rocking and rolling here. All right, so the topic of episode 1 is getting to know you, getting to know all about you, and basically what we want you guys to think of us as, like Opie and Anthony, but with more guns and less psychotic and racist Twitter rants.
I have no idea who these people are because I don't. As much as I internet, I don't social media. So.
Yeah, but you know who Opie and Anthony are. Yes,
but talking about these Twittery peoples that you're bringing into the fold here.
Yeah, Anthony got fired by XM Sirius because apparently he got into a fight with a black woman in Times Square and then proceeded to go off on a 3-day Twitter rant about it, and he ended up getting fired from his show, the show that he'd had for 20-some years. And it's cool because I can't get fired from the show because, well, it's ours. So, there it is.
We may get censored.
Well, by who, though?
NSA.
Well, maybe. Shh.
Don't tell them that we're on the air.
I don't want to get swatted.
Oh, shit. Speaking of swatting, when we started talking about doing this, if it ends up becoming a thing, which we both hope that this does get very popular, I actually did go down and talk to the local sheriff's department because I shoot with them regularly.
Right.
And they know if they have to come to my house, so that I have guns. But my sheriff department is pretty, as a few of our friends would say, bro tier.
Right.
They know what swatting is. They've actually gone over it, and they have actually developed a plan to deal with such a situation, even though that they do have to respond if it's from... I'm not entirely sure how they're planning on.
They have to respond to a call regardless.
Yes, but
okay, but if you've given some sort of notice, you know, they, depending on how well they know you, they may give you a courtesy call first and say, hey, we just got a 911 call that says that something's going on there. Is there? But the thing is that most agencies are going to have some sort of policy in place that, I mean,
they have to respond. There's no not responding.
If somebody calls them and says, you're stabbing your wife in the face repeatedly with a soup spoon, then they have to respond. But how they respond, the level of response. It was like that video I saw, and I've seen a lot of the swatting videos, but there was one. A guy was streaming Counter-Strike, and I think he was.
The past 3 ones have been streaming Counter-Strike.
Yeah,
it was playing terrorists.
Yeah, I know. He was streaming Counter-Strike. I don't know if he was actually streaming or if he was streaming from like an an office at like a college or something. He
Yeah,
wasn't. It
that
wasn't
one.
in his house.
These guys have an office set up to prevent stuff like this, and have prop rooms, and they have a whole thing set up. This is their job. This is what
Oh,
they
so the
do.
streamer's like a professional streamer.
This guy was a completely professional dude. He had all this stuff set up. There are multiple people that do it. There are prop rooms with prop guns.
Right.
Luckily, those were in the other room. And what happened was the way that their address got out was they did a charity benefit. I think it was for the ALS stuff that's going around right now, and they raised 20 grand, and they donated
Wow.
it. And so the news put their office building on the air, and a few days later, after they got pizzaed once, and then they got swatted.
That's just silliness. Because one of these days somebody's going to get fucking shot. Oh, and now's a good time to mention that we are an uncensored show, so that even when it goes up
Oh,
on iTunes, there will be nothing will be bleeped out. It is an uncensored show. Another thing to mention is that we're not always going to be talking about guns specifically. That's there's a lot of shows out there that do that, and that's awesome. But there's a lot of other cool shit going on, and I'm looking at this as kind of an outlet because I don't talk politics a lot on my channel, so maybe kind of work on getting the politics stuff going, or my political ideologies, for lack of a better word. I need somebody, though. I need somebody to test out the QA app. Type a fucking question, please, because I'm getting text messages saying it's not working. So if somebody can test out the QA app and type a question in it, that would be awesome.
Wait, Rusty knows how to use a computer?
Yeah, it's not Rusty. It's James Johnson,
Oh.
actually. Of all people, he's almost a doctorate in computer engineering. And he's asking me why the QA app isn't working, and I don't know because I don't have a doctorate in computer engineering. Have wifey test it or something.
Well, I could shout across the room, or I could just text her.
Well, let's see. Okay, so we got that. I don't know. It's really weird.
Well, Jay Johnson, he's
Hang
a
on.
software engineer. He's not
Oh, there
an
you
actual
go.
user of a computer.
So there we go. Okay, so if you're using the QA app, and on the upper right-hand corner, there's a little series of boxes, like a little Rubik's Cube thing, and you click that and then highlight QA, and the QA box will come out on the right-hand side, and you should be able to ask a question in there, I think. He's texting me again. 3 text messages. Oh, James, it's goddamn, dude. It's on the lower left-hand corner of the live stream. It should be. Stop calling me a dingleberry. Computer science, whatever, dude. The point is you're supposed to be smarter than me, and you don't know how to do this. Fuck you. I know you can hear me. Okay, so moving on. We ran a contest yesterday and today in our guns, where Omni and I are both moderators of, and we hope to make it a weekly thing where the users of our guns can vote on the thread of the week from the previous week. And the way it worked is the thread that won was how to handle a threat while carrying. Should I have drawn my gun? And yeah,
This gentleman was quite interesting.
basically tells the story of a young man who may have been named Jed for all I know.
We're going to call him Jed.
We're going to call him Jed, who was hanging out outside of a coffee shop or pizza joint or someplace without side tables, and encounters a couple of other young men who we'll call Thug 1 and Thug 2. And gets into a verbal altercation with them over a cigarette. I guess one of them asked him for a cigarette, and he said no, and it kind of escalated from there, and then it de-escalated because he eventually pulled his head out of his ass, did the right thing, and didn't draw his fucking gun.
Oh, imagine that. That's the good thing.
The
He was right to be questionable of the activity of the urban gentleman. Now, that is a thing to get you to pull out your wallet so they can snatch and run.
Sure.
Which, a big thing of carrying is being aware of your environment. Be it, driving and having somebody coming up next to you. Yes, I figured you'd notice.
Do you see that? All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Where was? Oh, yes. We were talking about how dealing with these people that are, not quite a threat yet, but they're trying to set you up in a way to make you one. The best bet is always to extricate yourself from the situation, be it, just turning around and, well, don't turn around generally, just keep cognizant of where they are physically. But walking away, you don't have an ego. So what? The dude just called you retarded. Walk away. They're trying to set you up for something to get you to pull out your wallet. Walk away. There are a lot of things you can do before you start pulling out that gun and clearing leather.
Oh, there's a ton of things you can't. There's not only that you can do, but you should do. Here's when I teach a concealed carry class, I make it a point to tell people that once they get that license in their wallet or in their pocketbook, they have a duty to themselves and everybody around them to become the biggest pussy on the planet.
Exactly.
Because just because you're carrying a gun doesn't make you Rambo, and in fact, it gives you, or it comes with an extraordinary amount of responsibility, personally, morally, and ethically. And we're not going to get into the morals of this whole thing because there's really no point. But the long and the short of it is that this encounter that this young gentleman had in this affluent neighborhood with two ostensibly non-brown people, there was at no point in this encounter,
like punk-ass kids.
It sounded like punk-ass white kids, honestly, in a rich neighborhood of some town. I mean, it's Florida, so there's a lot of outdoor cafes there, but, yeah, and the thing...
We're going to call it Baskin Robbins.
Yeah, we'll call it Baskin Robbins. The point I'm trying to make is that there was, at no point at all, did this guy have any reason to draw down on these guys. And if he had, regardless of the fact that Florida has some pretty liberal laws in respect to defending oneself with a firearm, he would have a really hard time explaining why he shot somebody over a cigarette.
And a dollar was the other thing.
And a dollar. And at the very least, he could have been hit with a brandishing charge.
This is Chicago, people. You can't just shoot people over a dollar.
Yeah, this ain't Detroit, man. Seriously. Although we should buy some real estate in Detroit, because in 100 years it's probably going to be worth something.
Yeah. The deed's going to be worth toilet paper.
Yeah. You never know. Maybe nature will take back Detroit. Well, there's the dog. Okay, so moving on. I'm done with that discussion. Are you done with that discussion?
Oh.
I mean, do you want to?
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to add to it?
Well, the only thing is he did end up resolving it the
which is great.
Peaceable way of just giving the guy a smoke and walking away. If that's all it's going to take to get you out of a situation like that, give the dude a smoke.
Yeah, for sure.
Walk away.
So
you have legs. They work, generally. Unless you're in a wheelie chair, then Whatever. I'm gonna check my walking privilege.
All right, so from the Q&A app, our buddy Browse says, I enjoy motorboating big breasts. Do you? I'll let you answer that first.
Of course. That. Well, we can go into what ended up happening on Cat Operator Weekend.
Oh, good Lord.
So on the forum we moderate, it ended up. I was a little bit drunk, and
I'm sorry, what?
I was.
I'm going to find that fucking message.
Anyways, I had just changed the sheets on my bed, and the cat had laid his paw on my gun. And so I took a picture, and I go, fuck it, this is going live on the forums. And so I put it up there, and I suspended rules for the weekend and said, post your gat cats, or your gat pets, or your whatever you would like. And third post devolved into wife titties. It ended up being one of our members who's known for posting his wife's tits that were pressed into a nice aim point. So basically, 3 rules in, we devolved to tits. It's pretty typical.
I'm still... I don't know how it got there. It went from cats with guns, and then I threw Anya in the mix by posting my operator dog, and then other people started posting their dogs, and
well,
and then I woke up to titties, and you know,
one of our other moderators.
I don't know how.
He got upset.
Zaptel.
Yeah. He called me names. And immediately after that, it went to tits. So we do question Zaptel's proclivities, but even he can't say no to tits.
Well, or maybe he can. I don't know.
No, I think he was because in our other thread, he ended up linking to the titties. That was the number 4 thread in there. If you look,
but he was doing that to troll me. He even said so.
Oh well.
If you look at the nomination thread, he was doing that to troll me, and he specifically said, "I'm doing it. I'm just fucking with Iron Chin." So another question is from let's see, who's asking that? Always Ducky is asking, why is OmniFox dressed so snazzy?
Oh, where's that? I
in
came directly from work. This is my typical garb at work.
Tell them what you do for a living.
My main job is the IT guy for a major law firm. And my weekend job is working in a GAT store. We're taking that word back, God damn it.
He said GAT, not Gap.
GAT store. Gun store. It's probably one of the coolest gun stores ever in the fact that it's half toys, as in toys, Legos and shit, and toys as in guns. So it's pretty awesome in the fact that we can run our margins so low on the big boy toys due to the kid toys.
James wants to know why the R-Guns mod's so Hitler.
Because people are stupid, and they post stupid shit. I post stupid shit, but I get to suspend the rules for the weekend.
See, here's the thing. Without devolving into an, oh, woe is me, I'm a moderator of a large sub discussion, because that's bullshit. It's the fucking internet, but our guns is pretty big. It's pushing 200K now, and without rules,
despite our best efforts.
Yeah, despite our best efforts, and without rules, it'll just turn to shit. If we were to just say fuck it, no rules, do whatever you want, it would be
More shit.
it would be a combination of our firearms and our circle jerk, and probably our
Advice to
F7
animals.
U12 and advice animals, with and probably gone wild at this point. To but with a gun bend, and that would be bad because the internet would lose what is the largest firearms community on the internet. Our Guns is the largest firearms community on the internet.
I don't know. ARFCOM might. I think.
I
Well,
don't. ARFCOM does not have 200K users.
are you sure about that?
I'm pretty sure.
Eh,
Or
it's
check
ARF.
if you want. I don't know.
I am.
But the long and short of it is, we have rules. We came up with the rules to what we felt was in the best interest of the community as a whole, and it's worked out pretty well. Some people don't like it. Those people can get fucked because the rules aren't going anywhere. And if that means I have to wear a Hitler title because of it, then I'm okay with that.
Also, okay, I love the 240 Bravo. It's probably one of my favorite machine guns ever in modern use. I love it better than the German M42s and the M3. But fuck, enough posts of it. There's like 6 posts of it.
Well, that
I have
happens.
2
It
days.
goes. I mean, there's always what we had that a week of quote unquote ATF posts, and we had a week of did someone say 1911, and a week of yeah, it happens. People want to and these guys that are on deployment, you know what, dude? They're fucking deployed, and they want to post a picture of their 240.
That's
Have at it.
cool and all. While you're deployed, post that shit up. But there are a lot of them up there that have been that are reposts.
I've only seen 2
current,
though.
Well, the current top post. I'm pretty sure. Let me see. I could have sworn I've seen that one before. Well, maybe it's not. It's kind of mem-ish because it's a response to the other one. But whatever. People can have fun. We're not that Hitler.
I don't think we are. But of course, the people who have to, the people who make the rules are always the ones that get, are the assholes. So whatever.
The people that you have to convince are HCE and ZAP.
Convince of what though?
You and I usually let something go more than, say, our other fellows.
Honestly, dude, part of it's just because I have so much other shit going on in my life right now that I can't dedicate as much time as I probably need to our guns. I mean, I go through and I moderate and I do that stuff, but I can't. I just don't have the energy or the time right now to get involved in internet pissing contests with somebody who's butthurt over being banned. And HCE and Zap do just such a good job of eviscerating people in mod mail that I just let them do it. I do an amazing job. They really do.
Yes, yes, they do. We do need to have an expose on what goes on in mod mail one of these days.
I think that if we can get James and Zap and HCE all into a hangout at the same time, we could totally make a show of it. We could do it. We could fill probably 90 minutes of content with that shit, and it would be amazing, I think. But it would also be full of inside jokes that a lot of people wouldn't get. So it could blow up in our faces.
Apparently, you have some questions on Twitter. So get to fucking Twittering. Twitter.
What are you talking about? I have questions on Twitter. I'm looking at the Twitter.
Did you refresh the Twitter?
Oh, there we go. David Davis at Cafe Dave wants to know: with E-Form 1s seemingly under 3 weeks, I'm considering constructing my own silencer. Please discuss. Are E-Forms back up?
Oh yeah, E-Forms are back up for 5220 stroke whatever for interstate transfers
Huh.
of NFA. Form 1s are up, Form 6s are up, and I think Form 10s are up. I can't remember.
But
Uh,
the important ones, like Form 4s, aren't.
Form 4s and Form 3s aren't up. Oh,
Yeah.
Form 2s are up too. But then Form 2s don't really count because they're just a notification, not a.
Right. Form 2s don't matter. Um
But
'cause
yes, those two aren't up because there's still the ability to bulk upload. The ATF still hasn't fixed a lot of the problems with it,
right.
but they wanted to give people the option.
I didn't get an
Now,
email. That kind of pisses me off.
I've gotten several.
That's
Stop.
weird. Maybe I
Stop.
should check my spam box.
Yes. Uh, One of the important things
Holy
right
shit, there they
now,
are.
you retard. Uh, how do I computer? The Form 1s on there now, of course, are only for trusts or corporations because you can't upload your fingerprints. Um, so, you have to have your trust set up or your corporation before you can do an e-filed Form 1, which are nice because they're down to 3 weeks. But if you don't have that stuff set up first, a lot of people go with the Quicken will trust. But
I
as
think
somebody that I work in the law field, so I think if you're going to have a trust drawn up, have your lawyer do it. But you don't have to. Um, you
I think
know.
he just wants to know the specifics of making his own suppressor, though. Honestly, that's the
Oh,
impression I get from the question.
I
The long and the short of it is, I mean, if you've done the research, then you know that you have to permanently mark it, and and it has to be marked with the city and state of where your trust or corporation is registered. Blah blah blah. But I mean,
and there's a certain depth requirement and there's a certain durability requirement
yes,
in your markings. Um,
they have
Now,
to
as far as
be
cans go,
three mils deep, I think.
yes, at least. The big thing with making your own can, which I've never understood, since the ATF has said that each individual baffle is a silencer, because ATF is retarded. When you're
Yeah,
manufacturing, what's actually the suppressor? If you're making, a four-stack baffle, what's your
I know, I know.
so get it done in a day and put it together.
The- I guess at Cafe Dave, if you could maybe elaborate just a little bit on what specifically you want to know, because it's great. It's Twitter. It's 140 characters. There's only so much you can put into one tweet. But throw another tweet out and be a little more specific about what you want us to answer. I guess I'd appreciate it, because otherwise we could go on and on and on about this for an hour and nobody would learn a fucking thing.
Yeah. Um, to James Johnson, Emacs. I never was comfortable with a Vi. Well, I can use Vi, but I can work with Emacs so much more efficiently. Uh, but honestly, Nano. And Rich has no fucking clue
Nope,
what I just said.
nope. I
I
don't
may as well
know, and
been.
I don't care. You may as well been speaking Greek. And that's okay. That's why I have friends who know that shit, because then I can just ask them.
So, is there a way to dismiss questions on here?
I don't believe so.
Oh, so how the
I
hell am I supposed to know which? Do you
Well,
mark
let's
them
see.
answered?
Oh no, there's right there. You can delete question. Delete question.
I can't. You can.
Oh, okay. So what are we deleting then?
No, I would just so you can mark them answered, as in blah blah blah.
Okay, so I'll do that. Keep talking.
There should be another hashtag GTT live question asked.
Let me see. Refresh. Nothing yet. It might take a minute though.
No, it was asked quite a while ago.
I've refreshed the hashtag page and I don't see it. So,
Yeah, I don't see it either.
yeah, exactly.
Let's see here.
How do I join this, Rich? That's from Nathan. How do you join what, dude? It seems like you joined it already.
Uh,
Oh, James says the Hitler mods question wasn't a troll. I'm looking to start a frank discussion on moderation policies. Well, we can do that, but we can do it when we're all on together instead of instead of me and Omni speaking for everybody. I don't want to do that. I'd rather have you and Zap and hopefully HCE on all at the same time, and we can do a whole
is he
show
gonna
on
wear a
that stuff.
Mickey Mouse hat?
Who?
HCE.
I don't know. He might. You
No,
never know
I
with
want
that
him to
guy.
do it from his bike.
From his
I
bike.
want him to set up a mobile transmitting station while he's BMXing around.
I'll wear my Viking helmet if he wears his Mickey Mouse hat. I just have to figure out how to get the headset on around it.
No, it was my wife asked you a question, but she's got a private Twitter account, so it doesn't show up in the public feed.
Why would so
She,
you have a private Twitter account?
for twittering to your twats on other specifics, I don't understand. I have a Twitter account
That's like
only for announcing things.
that's like super antisocial. I have an account on what is arguably the world's largest social network, but it's a private account, so I can't be social.
Well, who wants to be social on Twitter?
Twitter is kind of neat for some things, man.
Okay, the only good thing that I've ever had come from Twitter was
You're following
I
the
went
wrong people then.
I went to KFC. Uh, anyways,
The
so
fuck?
this is, KFC had started a program at one point where they gave you a bucket of soda, literally a bucket of soda. Shit wouldn't fit
Was
anywhere.
it a liter of cola, Farva?
No, it was like 2.5 liters in a bucket.
Jesus
Uh,
Christ.
and it wouldn't fit in any of the whatchamacallits, the holders. So I had to buckle that shit into the seat. So
I
had
think you told me this story, and you had to do a
I
panic stop or something, and it flipped.
no. I sent it off to the colonel on Twitter's. I took a picture and sent it,
Oh,
and
okay.
he responded back, "That is hilarious. I will get our engineers working on that." And he sent me a free bucket of chicken. So it was a free bucket of chicken.
Yeah, you're following the wrong people. Then you got to follow. I mean, I followed. I followed David Annandale. I follow all the big 40K fluff authors and stuff like that. But
See, I just wait until you tell me on IRC.
well, yeah. But the cool thing is these guys. I mean, we have
You're my aggregator.
we have we have discussions over Twitter, and it's pretty neat to get the author's take on some stuff. In fact, when you and I were discussing the Gray Knights thing, that trailer, and,
Oh, yes.
And me and shit, who was it? Uh, uh, Aaron Dembski Broen. We had a discussion about that, and he said I was wrong.
Understandable.
So I can't argue with the guy. I mean, he's a published 40K author, and I'm not. So whatever.
So, anyways, go ahead and try refreshing the
Okay.
GTT thing, the hashing of tag.
Negative. Nothing up there. Nothing new up there. I wish you guys would use this. I would like GTT Live, hashtag GTT Live, to be the most used hashtag ever on Twitter. I doubt we can. I doubt that's going to
We'll
happen.
get 5 people to use it. This many.
But I would like to see it trending or something. That would make my night.
So her question is hashtag GTT Live. Will you be shaving your beard at any point live on the show?
No.
It's his namesake. I think.
It's my trademark at this point. You know, I don't know what would happen if I
You need to get
shaved.
to Lloyd's of London. You need to get them to insure it.
It's not that long yet. Once it hits like waist level, if it ever gets that long, then I will probably honestly, I would probably do something like that. I'm not gonna lie. It sounds silly, but I would probably do that.
So, oh, she also said you can suck it.
Oh, okay. Suck what? My beard?
No, just it.
Tell her to accept my fucking ad request on Steam.
She's watching, so nice.
I just heard her laughing. um, okay, so at Cafe Dave says, sure, I was interested in particulars. Trust engraving was great. Is it a good idea compared to purchasing? Honestly, if it's a suppressor, probably not.
If you know what you're doing, or I have a Form 1 sitting around somewhere waiting for the MPX.
Okay, but if it's going to be for a 22 can, then
Yeah.
then sure. But the thing is what people don't realize, there's an amazing amount of engineering that goes into suppressors, and into suppressor design. And yeah, most suppressor manufacturers are using a baffle design that's been around since the 40s, and it's been around since the 40s because it works, and that's awesome. But there's so much more to it than baffle design.
There's plenty of good baffle design out there that you can steal. That's completely without trademark.
Yeah, it's totally public domain.
For a 22 is fine.
If you're going to make your own for a 22, that's one thing. If you're going to try and make your own for a large bore centerfire rifle, then you're going to want to.
You need access to the machining tools to do it.
And honestly, you want somebody with an engineering background.
But what you can do is, if you do know somebody that can do this stuff, can do the machining, as far as machining Form 1 items, you can, as long as you always have control of the items.
As long as you're present.
As long as you're there, you can go have somebody machine it for you.
Right. They don't need an FFL or anything like that. You have to be there. You have to be like breathing down their neck the whole time.
And if you have to go home at the end of the night because they didn't get it all done, you have to take all the parts and take it down there, basically.
If it's for a 22 can, okay, whatever.
You can fucking do wipes with a 22 can.
Yeah, if it, you can do what Mark Wahlberg did in that gem of modern cinema shooter and use a pop bottle filled with tissue paper, whatever the fuck he used.
Well, shit.
But if it's a 22 can, it's one thing. If you're going to go anything bigger than 22 long rifle, it's probably not, honestly. And the thing is, if you're interested in doing it just because the Form 1 return is so much faster right now, but
don't, because Form 4s are actually starting to pick up, because
they are.
When
not,
I talk to
not terribly fast though. I just had one come back a couple weeks ago, and it was 8 months to the day from the day it went pending. So they are speeding up a little bit, but if you call the NFA branch, they will still tell you 9 to 12 months from the day it goes pending.
There's one thing with the NFA right now. They were getting to the point where we could probably have gotten away with a lawsuit on due to one of our friends, what he would say, infringement.
Who the hell's Lolo Renee?
I don't know. She likes you.
Well, no, she's follow. Who is that? James? Who is that? You follow her. Who is that?
Anyways, fuck Twitter, dude. We're having a conversation, goddammit.
She's cute.
Oh, man.
I'm just saying, she is.
You need to be played.
It's Casey. Never mind. Never mind. She looks totally different on Twitter. Holy crap. That's James's girlfriend. Wow, I feel like a fucking tool right now.
Well, people don't use their real names on Twitter, so unless her name is actually Lolo Renee, and you just completely fucking forgot her name, one of your buddies that shows up in your shop, you forgot this girl's name. Uh, so has this stream been entirely focused on you? Just question. Has it
On
been
me?
toggling? Yeah, has it been toggling between?
Oh no, it toggles between whenever whoever's talking at the time. It'll flip flop back and forth.
Well, when we were doing the test stream earlier, I accidentally had clicked on one of them, and it was specifically me the entire fucking time, and that was annoying.
You can make it focus on you, yeah.
I don't want it focused on me.
I don't know if you can read that or not. Hold on.
Not
James Johnson, all caps. That's my girlfriend, you dick.
nice.
Sorry, dude. I didn't recognize her on that little picture, man. She looks totally different. Regardless. Okay, moving on.
What the hell were we talking about?
We were talking about suppressors, and
then I was on some tangent about some. Oh, anyways, I was talking with my
I'm
agent.
not talking about flat-footed reloads in IDPA either. I'm not going to do it.
Talking to the our local ATF agent, and she was telling us how they're moving up to actually processing about 75,000 a month, but their backlog is several 100,000. So
dude, they've got
a few
boxes and boxes and boxes stacked up against the walls in there.
Well, here is the one thing I was hoping that it would stay that long, because then that would be grounds for a suit, due to the fact that they're not giving us a response in a reasonable amount of time. Now, if they get NFA back down to getting back to a month or less, then we don't have that angle for a lawsuit saying this is an unreasonable amount of time, blah blah blah. Abolish the NFA.
That is never going to happen.
It was a possibility when we were.
It's never been a possibility.
At 2 or 3 years of delays, that's very good grounds.
It's never been 2 or 3 years, and all the time I've been messing with NFA stuff, it's never been 2 or 3 years.
We've had people that have taken 2 years, because
when?
This was probably, I want to say 2013, 2012. It was before Sandy Hook, and then only exacerbated by it.
Why on earth so long? What did they screw up the paperwork?
Yes, the paperwork slipped between. It literally slipped between a desk.
That's
the way that
a
we knew
shit
that
happens
happened.
Thing.
But the way that we knew that happened is because the bitches didn't cash the check in the first 2 weeks. They sure as hell will cash that check. Boom.
And that's what I tell customers. That's what I tell my customers. You're gonna notice that that check's been cashed. It doesn't matter. All it means is they got your money now.
And it's it's millions of dollars. And now that they're up to processing 75,000 a month, it's starting to catch up on that backlog.
Yeah, and they've hired more people, which is great.
And they bring people over from the IRS during non-tax season too.
Yeah, and that's super duper awesome. But the NFA is never going away. It's just not going to happen. The lobby against it is just too big, and a big portion of that lobby is people who have a lot of money invested in transferable machine guns, which I think is absurd. But regardless, the NFA is never going away. It's free money for the feds, and honestly, it's awesome that the cost of the transfer tax hasn't gone up in line with inflation, Because at this point, it'd be over $3,000. Think about that.
Yeah, that was the one good thing because they didn't write any twilight clauses into the NFA, but then again, they didn't write in any riders stating that it was supposed to be X amount of money every year. So the whole point of the NFA originally was to $200 in the 30s was very burdensome.
Well, yeah. Back then, in 1934, the median income in the United States was $400 a year. That's it, $400 a year. Now, obviously, it didn't include people like doctors, airline pilots, congressmen, the president, shit like that. But your average Joe on the street made, on average, $400 a year. So back then, $200 was incredibly cost prohibitive.
How sure are you on that? Because I know one of our viewers is going to be like, "Oh, fortunately, it was not $400. It was."
When I did my NFA and U video, I spent a week researching all the financials in 1934 when the National Firearms Act was passed. So I'm pretty fucking sure.
Okay, we got that. We had a couple of IRC questions.
Okay, what are they?
Let's see here. We've got TXGI asking if he can be on the next one. No. Alcoholics
Nope.
aren't allowed. Crackers told you to stop smoking cocks. It leaves a stain on your beard.
That's not very nice.
And Zap called me a faggot.
Zap calls everybody a faggot. It's a term of endearment for him.
Those are the three big things that came out of IRC. Very quality stuff. Oh, and fuck the NFA. It's unconstitutional. Well, yes.
I agree that it's unconstitutional.
So is the GCA of 68,
And the NFA should be abolished, but it's never going to happen. It just won't. And the one thing I can see happening, and realistically, is that suppressors are removed from the National Firearms Act. And the reason I can see that is that more and more states are starting to allow them for hunting of game animals. It's becoming a big thing. Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas, all the surrounding states to where I am allow suppressors for hunting game animals now, and there's a lot of other states that do, and it's becoming. It's that movement is starting to gain some steam. So I can totally see suppressors being removed from the National Firearms Act. But the flip side of the coin is that suppressors are, by and large, the biggest revenue source for transfer taxes. So,
it'd be huge. It would turn the NFA branch into no longer a profitable. It's the only profitable branch of any form of government. The IRS collects tax. It's not new tax being generated, and so. But the ATF, generates new tax with this sort of stuff. Also, IRC responded. Median income in 1934 was around $5,000, not $400. You are dumb.
Who said that?
Batman.
He's wrong.
Well,
He's wrong.
Let's not go down this because it's not germane to the.
Yeah.
Whatever.
He's wrong.
Okay. The other thing was, I was asked how many cocks can I fit in my mouth. We don't have any chicken, so 0.
Is that from IRC?
Yes.
No, that's not a toxic environment at all.
Well, do we have any more questions from the QA panel?
Let me check.
Well,
Scrolling,
Nano
scrolling,
is
scrolling.
okay. God damn it. When I'm not fucking focusing on something and I just want to open a goddamn file. Fuck.
James wants to know, how awesome is James Johnson as a mod on a scale from 9.5 to 10?
Negative I, because you don't fucking mod. You show up once in a while, bitch and mod mail at somebody that's being a dipshit, generally, yes. Hey, you do add to good quality.
He comes up with great
ass-reaming.
mod challenges, though. The draw a picture, go outside, draw a
Hey.
picture mod challenge was awesome.
That was a great one. I still want somebody to marry their gun, but no one wants to do my mod challenges because they're kind of homoerotic. I mean,
Nathan wants to know, okay, Rich, what do you think of the possible ISIS invasion on America? I'm scared, man. I, 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 I don't, can't tell if serious. I don't even know what to make of that question.
well,
Um,
we've got the thing that really worries me about all of this is that it's going to be something else used to ram down Patriot Bill 4.0, the Patriot Act 4.0, down our throats. Um, the odds of something happening to you specifically is not something you should really need to be panicked over. Uh, uh, Building up to something on a massive scale could happen with a homegrown domestic terrorist, can happen with shit can happen. I've seen so many people, going off on tangents on the internet about how ISIS is so dangerous that we need to change stuff so we can catch them and blah, blah, blah. We should shoot these people that are flying ISIS flags in the United States. If you see it, you should be able to shoot them. Uh, uh, People forget that we have other rights where you can be a douche nozzle and you can fly an ISIS flag, and it's completely legal and protected. Hate speech is still protected.
and it should be.
I don't agree with it, but it's still protected. It's if you, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. It doesn't matter if you agree with it or not. It's still protected.
One man's hate speech is another man's religion.
Unfortunately,
And that's just you know I don't think ISIS is going to invade America any more than I think the remake
Al Qaeda.
of or any more than I think the remake of Red Dawn is going to happen. Okay, we're not going to be invaded by the Koreans. We're not going to be invaded by ISIS or any other segment of radical Islam, and it's it's just it's just not going to happen. Okay, James, okay. What are your thoughts on IDPA's recent ban of reloads on the move? I think it's fucking stupid. Question answered. Deleting it.
Really? I haven't done any sanctioned stuff. I do my monthly fuck around with local people, but they ban. What did somebody shoot themselves in the dick?
I'm not. I don't know the full story, but something happened, and it's. I think
That's
it's
retarded.
stupid. Yeah, it is. It's absolutely retarded. You know, I at some point I'm going to have to stop defending IDPA, and I know that, but IDPA is so ingrained in me that it's hard not to defend it as a sport. But at some point, I'm just going to have to cut the purse strings and let it go.
Yeah. Let's see. We got another one. Yes, I do some e-discovery stuff, James. It's part of my job. Uh, Next to how do I turn on computer and start Word? It's one of the.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
You know what? It works. Uh,
It's the great. It's one of the greatest shows ever. I love that show.
uh,
I was
some
really
of the
sad it only
e-discovery
went 2 seasons.
I do some e-discovery. I do animations for crash reenactments and physics explanations and stuff like that. I do expert uh, computer testimony, all sorts of random shit, and then I also, you know, kill the spiders because I'm the only male employee at my. We have attorneys that are male, but I'm the only male employee. Therefore, spiders and things up high on shelves is part of my job description.
Mike Lynch thinks that you look like a gummy bear in a suit. I'm just
That's
saying.
mean.
That is kind of mean.
I don't. What the hell does a gummy bear in a suit mean? Is because yes, I'm fat. This original names was going to be
Whatever.
two fat guys on the air, but it was kind of wordy. But that's just
James, I'm not going to shoot USPSA. I have no interest in shooting USPSA.
James. I use FTK. It's just easier for what I do.
I'm guessing this question is directed towards me. Edge 4006 wants to know: would you place a Texas or Oklahoma flag on your house? Are you talking about the state flag, or are you talking about the football flag? Respond to that, and I'll answer your question.
We've actually got some serious questions from IRC.
Okay, cool.
First one's retarded. Kane asks, ask Rich why he isn't manufacturing new slap ammunition or an imitation thereof, because you can't manufacture armor-piercing ammunition for regular people because we're not good enough. And the other
I wish the
question
hell I
was,
could, man. I'd be a millionaire overnight. Shit.
and then Crackers asks a serious question about Red Fork. Is it
Mm.
hard to get powder since pistol powder is hard to find for the plebs?
I have a source where I'm going to be able to get all the powder I want in bulk, OEM powder. So it's different than retail powder, but it's not really different. But so yeah, and there was actually a pretty. I think it was in our reloading. Maybe there was a pretty long discussion on OEM powder versus retail powder. Look in the R reloading subreddit, and you'll see I think it was in that sub. There's really not a major difference between OEM and retail, other than packaging. Honestly, there's only
Hornaday, because their retail is nothing like their OEM powder. Absolutely nothing like it. It's,
Mike appended his statement by saying "acute gummy bear" in all caps.
oh, now I just feel weird.
Ed says state flag. Neither, honestly. I'm from Texas, but I live in Oklahoma. But I'm an American, so if I'm going to fly a flag, it's going to be an American flag. That's really all there is to it.
Fuck American.
That's not very
All
nice.
about the Irish.
Ducky wants to know, if I may ask a silly question, what do you suggest to start with for someone interested in owning a gun? Any tips and such? Sweetheart, that could fill fucking 5 hours of discussion. If I'll talk to you later on TeamSpeak about it if you want, and answer all your questions. But honestly, that's such a broad topic that it would take up hours and hours and hours, and it would be. I mean, you would learn a lot, but it would not make for good podcasting, I don't think.
No, yeah, there's just so many different questions that you have to ask before you can even start
Yeah,
answering that
exactly.
question.
When somebody comes into my store, and I think that
Oh
Omni
God.
when somebody comes into my store who's never owned a pistol before and says, I want to buy a pistol, what kind of pistol should I get? I mean, I have a list, and it's not written down or anything, but I have a list of about 25 questions I'll ask them. And the questions change depending upon their answers to the previous question. And it's so incredibly subjective, but buying a gun is, especially if it's going to be a carry piece, it's it's a very personal decision. It's a lot like buying underwear. And that sounds weird, but if you think of it in the context of how personal a decision it is and how it has to fit you perfectly, then it'll make a certain amount of sense. But I mean, we could go on and on and on about that.
Shut up and buy an HK.
No, don't buy an HK. Um,
and then there's also the whole thing. Do you want to learn target shooting? Are you looking just to learn how to shoot a rifle? Which my response for shooting a rifle is buy a 1022, buy 10 tech sights, and go shoot a fucking Appleseed. Yeah, we should probably plug Appleseed here at some point.
we can
Appleseed's
plug
coming.
Appleseed. Um, Browse wants to know if are the Red Fork lowers for sale and how much, or is that just a giveaway? Hey, thanks for the nice segue, Browse. Um, the Red Fork lower, this one here, is a one-off, one-of-a-kind custom job specifically for a giveaway uh, on the Red Fork Facebook page. At some point, there will be
We'll put a link in the chat here at some point.
yeah. At some point, there will be. That's one of my plans for Red Fork is my own line of AR rifles, each of which is going to be uh, use specific, but this is something that I got together with my Cerakote guy, and we came up with this, and I'm using it as a giveaway. I'm using it honestly. I'm not doing it because I'm an awesome dude, even though I think I am a pretty awesome dude. I'm doing it because I need to drive some fucking sales. Because the sales are nice, don't get me wrong, but they're not moving as fast as I would like them to. And the faster the sales come in, the faster I can actually start producing this ammo and get it to the people who've given me their money. So I'm hoping that stuff like this, which costs me money, will result in more sales and better, more publicity and so on and so forth, and more traffic to the website, which will result in more sales. But yeah, if you don't follow Red Fork on Facebook, which you probably should, if you
Facebook,
follow me,
whatever.
yeah, if you follow me, if you're follow me on Twitter, if you're on my YouTube Facebook page, then you've seen this, and it's lower. It's all Cerakote. It's titanium Cerakote with contrasting Cerakote for the trident, the circle and trident logo. It's a really nice lower. It came out beautifully. I'm really pleased with the way it came out, and that's this month's giveaway. Next month's giveaway is going to be even cooler, but I'm not going to say anything about that right now.
Yeah, we got to leave something for the next show.
Oh, dude, next month's giveaway is going to be awesome. I'm so stoked for that.
Oh, let's see here. Well, that's pretty much that. I don't have too much to do with Red Fork other than uh, I had some stickers sitting around here. I'm going to.
I know I sent you a couple when I sent you that A2 stock.
I'm working on a project gun that is a extreme budget AR build that's going to have a Red Fork sticker on it when I go run and gun it at in competitions or anything like that.
Somebody wants to know, what do you guys think of Fatboy Tactical and Jenks' competition with ammunition and AR sales? I don't see how it's competition one way or the other. It's, Fatboy Tactical isn't manufacturing their own ammunition, so it's I don't see how it I don't see them as competition one way or the other. There's more than enough room out there for and even if they were manufacturing their own ammo, I would applaud that because we need more ammo manufacturers.
Browse followed up in IRC asking, saying that you didn't fully answer the lower question, and it is for sale. It is a one-off that is just for a giveaway. So
That
enter the
specific
giveaway.
lower is for the giveaway. Yes, at some point I do plan on having my own branded lowers and my own branded rifles, but that lower that I just showed on camera and is on the Facebook and everything else, that is you know, that's just for the
One-off.
giveaway. Yeah, it's a one-off. There's never going to be another one that looks like it produced again. It's one of a kind, and that's all there is to it.
I guess he's face palming about something. I don't know.
What are you face palming about, dude?
Remember, they're on a delay from when we're talking and when I actually see something. Uh, Zap asks. Ask Rich what knife he has in his pocket right now, and if he doesn't have a knife, why is he a faggot?
He went, what now?
Ask Rich what knife is in his pocket right now, and if he doesn't have a knife, why not?
I don't have a knife in my pocket because I don't have any pockets right now.
Oh, except your Zaptel pocket.
Shh. We don't talk about Zaptel carry. Rule one of Zaptel carry is we don't talk about Zaptel carry.
I'm waiting for IRC to catch up to the conversation and just watch. I'm probably going to get kick banned at some point.
I don't see how you have admin on there or ops rather.
Yes, but you can still do it. And Zap before you ask. Spyderco.
James says, serious question. If I'm doing a single stack or CDP build, what's a good magwell to use? I like, I'm, as pissed as I am at Wilson Combat right now, I'm still partial to the Wilson Combat magwell mainspring housing combination.
I would have to agree. It's probably the only thing other than the cheap one that came on my RIA tactical for in 10 millimeter.
Yeah, I mean, until somebody comes out with something better, I will probably continue to buy those for my customers. Even though, like I said, I've about had it with Wilson Combat, so I don't think I'm going to be dealing with them very much anymore.
Well, they still make good shit, is the thing.
But I don't know. They've gone away from their core business, and I can totally see the whole branching out thing and getting into other stuff. But I don't know. It's they've really gone far out of their core business of 1911s and awesome 1911s, and I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about that.
Our question was asked, what small centerfire handgun would you carry? And that's actually, my small carry is actually, a Glock 42 with buffalo bore, 100 grain hardcast. And before anybody complains about polygonal rifling and Glocks and lead bullets, when it's hardcast, it's a big difference. It doesn't lead the barrel in that way. They're talking about shitty, bad cast lead that's soft.
TPX2 and 9mm.
Really?
What do you mean? Yeah, of course.
Oh, I didn't realize that you had one.
What are you talking about, dude?
Hmm?
I was like the first one to do videos on them when they came out, the Generation 2, and it's probably to this day it's probably my most popular video.
I
and
really only watched the 1911 videos and the.
Yeah, fuck you. We're not friends anymore.
Your mom.
But no, seriously, I loved it. I love the little Sky, man. I can't say enough good things about Skies.
Yeah, and yeah, of course, I knew this would happen. IRC's blowing up. Glock 42. Hey, it works. It shoots. I can put up targets that I can fucking cloverleaf at 3 to 5 yards with my good ammo. So I really don't care.
That's right. If it works for you, then it's all that matters. James says, while we're talking about Wilson, what do you think of the new slicked up 92 FS stuff they're doing? I think the 92 is a shittily, and that, I don't even know if that's a real word, but I'm going to continue to say it, shittily designed firearm, badly engineered. I believe that they have no place at all on the face of the earth. And that's one of the reasons I'm pissed off at Wilson Combat is because they're fucking around with 92s.
Well, personally, I don't give a shit if they're fucking around with 92s, but I don't care for it. Primarily, I love the 92, except the fact that, you know, the slide-mounted safety is completely retarded, because if you're doing your manual of arms, boom, 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 come up over the top, and you knock your safety down, my trigger's all spongy now. Oh, my safety's on. You know, if you're using it in something like that, I really wish it had a decocker only on the frame. That would be the big thing that I would change.
Decockers are devil. Decockers are bad. They have no business on firearms.
That's only because you carry 1911s.
No, it's a decocker. Yeah, well, okay, so maybe.
I like my SIGs. I like the decocker. It works.
That instinctual, motion of the thumb, to boom, push down on the safety, and something with a decocker, before you know it, you're actually turning the safety on, and it's bad juju all around. Decockers are silly and have no business.
But decockers, at least, if you accidentally turn it on, the next click still will go click. That's the big thing, is versus the safety on or the safety decocker on the 92 is that click won't work. It's better to get a heavy click than no click.
Decockers are about as useful as an external safety on a double action only revolver.
What's that company? Oh shit, American Heritage. The question on the TP9. I've shot one. I liked it. I wouldn't pay money for it. Zap does bring up a good question about in double action, the decocker doesn't do anything. So if you're already sitting there with double action, you're not going to do anything.
Yeah, well, Zap's just silly.
But the TP9, I think, is it's better than a high point, but it's not something that I would keep in my...
High points are awesome.
You know what? High points, they go bang as long as you're unloading them by pulling the trigger and not, using the firing pin ejector.
Are you getting drunk right now?
Not yet.
Okay. Nathan seems to think you are.
Oh, no, it's just hotter than shit.
You just froze up, dude. Okay, OmniFox is frozen totally plumb up. Great, now I need to carry this on my own.
You're the one that's frozen up, dude.
Wow, no, you were just totally froze up. Okay, are we back?
Yes, and
okay.
I'm not drunk.
Okay, Omni says he's not drunk. Mike wants to know, what animal would Rich be if he were a sea creature? I will let the people who know me best answer that. Omni, you can answer that. James, fucking answer it, dude. You're one of my best friends in real life. So, I'll let these guys answer it.
I was going to go with a barnacle, giant penis.
Really, dude? Really? At least you didn't call me a gooey duck or something,
Hey, gooey ducks, actually, they taste pretty fucking good.
They are tasty. They are.
I was thinking going gooey duck, but I went with barnacle. Just as a joke. Let's see here. It's worth noting that the original Beretta 90... Yes, I did... This is going to come back and haunt me. The only Taurus that I think is worth a damn is the PT-92, because it's the original design of the Beretta 92 with a frame-mounted safety. Um, but it's a Taurus.
Imagine the butt hurt that's happening in IRC right now.
Oh, it won't. It takes time before it erupts. But it's still a Taurus, and so therefore a piece of shit that I would never own. Because not everybody here is familiar with my posts or statements of about Taurus, and one day I got so pissed off because I'm sitting there working on the 6th return of the week of a Taurus. This is before we canceled carrying them. And seriously, it was the 6th fucking one. So I piled them all up, took a picture, posted them. This is why you don't buy this shit. Because it's shit. The way that Taurus Rossi works with their quality control, they do batch quality control. They don't do actual quality control. So they'll take 100 guns, take 10 of them, test them. If those 10 work, they'll take the entire batch. What the hell did I miss?
Oh shit. James says I look like a manatee. Fuck you, James. Ducky's a sassy bear. And somebody else said Cox.
Yeah, that was probably to the gooey ducks. Because gooey ducks look like cocks.
Yeah, they do.
But Manatee was pretty funny.
Manatee is pretty funny, but still, fuck you, James. What is a good magazine company for an AR-15 5.56? I'm partial to Lancer. That's just personal preference on my part.
For me, my Polymags, I like my PMags just because they're cheap, they work. Lancers are never fucking in stock. Now, for steel mags or aluminum mags, metal mags, Elander. I swear to God, there's no other better
You just
AR
in the
mag.
pre-show, you just got finished telling me that you were having trouble
That's
getting it to
because the
seat
goddamn
properly.
magazine.
Look, if you're
Okay.
if
Well,
it's not going to
brand new
seat
load.
properly without you beating the shit out of it, ramming it in like an operator operating, okay,
operating.
then
You got to give it a thunk because the damn catch is brand new and hasn't been worn in. So
That's
the
true.
problem is Elanders are steel. They're not aluminum. They have no flex. I'm actually pushing pretty good hard on here. They're imported by Mako Group, so they're Israeli mags, but they're fucking awesome as far as steel mags go. And
I'm partial to Lancers because as far to me they're the best of both worlds. You get the lightweight of you get the lightweight of polymer mags. The fact that they're not clear, but you can see into them. They don't have a window, but they're what's the word? Like smoky. But
translucent.
Translucent. There you go. So you get the best part of the polymer mags, the weight savings, and also the best part of steel or aluminum or whatever GI mags in regards to the feed lips and how the magazine is held together. But again, it's just personal preference on my part. I have tons of Magpul mags, and I have tons of Lancer mags, and if I had to pick one over the other, I'd probably go with Lancer. But it's hard to find them in stock anywhere. That is true. I mean, none of my suppliers have any right now. In fact, I bought a bunch from FC a few months back. So.
Yeah, Lancers have been still pretty hard to get your hands on them. It's mostly the reason I don't. I've ran.
They are a little more expensive than Magpuls. They are a little more expensive than PMags, but I think they're worth the extra couple bucks.
They're good mags. I don't doubt it. I've come to rely on PMags and I like them. And James asks about me shooting competition. I don't shoot anything sanctioned because we don't have anything. Everybody around wants to shoot. Wants to shoot IDPA or IPSC or 3-gun, but fuck all people want to. Uh, no one wants to do any coordination. So what I end up doing is the first month we have basically some impromptu type stuff. It can be either pistol stuff or things like local range with either other people or the local SWAT guys or any number of different people can show up. And mostly what I run is what I carry. Or my Tavor for carbines. And then for my shotgun, we did do one. I did end up somewhere where I ended up catching the end of a 3-gun match, and I asked if I could run one of the stages. It was me running my 308, my 716 3-gun heavy, which is massive fucking heavy ass beast thing. My 44 mag and my SP10. It's Remington's 10 gauge shotgun, so it was a semi-auto, so I couldn't use it anyway if it was a competition match. So basically, I fuck around a lot because no one wants to do any of the work.
He makes a good point. He just added another comment.
Who did?
James did.
What
Omni
about?
Bro set up a steel challenge match near you. Easy setup, no stage design, fun as hell.
Oh,
Yeah, and
yeah.
he's right. He's right on all counts. The only, he says easy setup. It depends if it's going to be a static, if it's going to be a static course where you don't have to, pack the steel out with you after every match. Then yeah, it's totally easy setup. But yeah, I mean, there's really no stage design involved. And it is fun. I mean, here shooting
We
steel
do
is a lot of
have.
fun.
I should say we do have some steel challenge matches. No, but it's nothing. No leagues or anything like that. It's but most of the people that do steel challenge are all doing 22s.
Because
It's
that's the most fun.
yeah, I know, but it's fun to do other things too. Um, so
Yeah, it really is. I mean, the most fun I've ever had in steel challenges is always in rimfire. It's a blast.
oh, I love running rimfire, but there are times that I'd like to do other shit. Um, TXGI asked, "Do you run? Do I look like I run?" No, no. If I'm running, okay. Here's one thing. I can run when I need to. I've never, even when I was in shape, I never ran because uh, why? But if I'm running, you better turn around and follow me and try to keep up. Motivated by
Fire.
life or death.
Uh, Jordan wants to know what are your thoughts about the Mossberg 590 Mariner, and thank you for answering my question. He says.
We didn't answer it
Uh,
yet.
uh, I like the 590s. I think it's a step up from the 500s. And it's you know my thing with shotguns is the availability of aftermarket parts. Um, I love Magpul furniture for shotguns. It makes just about any shotgun just a ton more comfortable to shoot. And I like the 590. I don't have any personal experience with the Mariner, but I'm it's it's really no different as far as I'm concerned to an 870 Marine.
The, yeah, I don't have any specific uh, activity with the Mariner, the 590 Mariner, but I've ran the 870 Marine uh, that we use for the boat gun because that's the whole point.
Yep.
Is that you can throw it on the boat and it, it isn't going to corrode away. Um, the
The flip side of
finishes,
that coin is that with the advent of Cerakote, you can make any gun a boat gun.
yeah, until you know scratch it. But then the same thing with the America coat. I'm not sure what coat that Mossberg's using on theirs. If they're just using a form of Cerakote, or if they're actually doing the treatment to the metal. But the 590 as a shotgun is it's a bad shotgun. I like it again better than the 500, but I've never been a huge Mossberg person.
No, and but it's a good shotgun, and if you get one for a decent price, then there's no reason not to go for it.
Uh, let's see here. Well, uh, we were going to cover another one of those threads.
Yes, let's.
Oh,
And
yes, Mister. How do I shoot a 2.5K?
yeah, so this was also nominated in the weekly nomination thread for the Gun It Thread of the Week segment, and it only came in a couple points behind the winner. And I just think it's too good to pass up. The the guy deleted, I guess deleted his account, but not really because he didn't delete his whole account. I'm not sure how he accomplished that, where he deleted his name from the original post without deleting his whole account, because you can, if you scroll down, you can see his other posts. It's ROH8880, and I'm totally shaming this kid right now. But he says, I'm shopping around for a good 2,000 to 2,500 meter rifle, and I am just getting into the long range precision shooting. I came across this and wanted to know what Reddit thinks. I've never heard of this company before, so I don't know how good they are. Uh, Now, for the
The link
people who
for people that aren't familiar, his link,
he's talking about a Shaytac.
this little company,
Just
but it's
they
it's not any Shaytac.
no,
It's the M300 intervention, which is
yes,
carbon fiber
it's a
and
$15,000 rifle.
in 408, which this gentleman, you know, if you want to do a 2.5K gun, you're looking at 408, 416, 50 BMG, or 20 millimeter. So he's on the money for that, which I think he probably just Googled 2,500 meter gun, and which somebody recently just broke the new sniper confirmed kill record. I can't cite that right now because it's pretty recent, in the past month or so. But so he starts on in this conversation about how much he needs this, how he wants to move on from where he is established already. Would you like to point out what he said his previous credentials are?
Yes, please. May I?
Go ahead.
Okay. So the conversation goes on, and somebody says, do a little research before you buy a $15,000 rifle. He says, I'm reading anything that anyone will point me to. I welcome links about the precision long shot. Yeah. Somebody directs him to R Long Range, which is an excellent subreddit if you wanted to get into long range shooting. Okay, and Monkey Masher says advice: don't start at 2,000 meters, start at 500. To which our good friend ROH8880 says, I'm at 1/4 MOA at 700 meters, looking to step up my game
Wait,
and make the next step. To which somebody
wait,
responds, What? I'm waiting.
what gun is he using?
Well, we're getting there. We're getting there. Somebody says that's a 1.75-inch group at 700 yards. The bullshit flag is so huge it can be seen from the ISS. Now, I'm going to scroll down a little more to find out where he is again. So, oh, here we go. PNW Tree Octopus says, pump your brakes and start with something more approachable, like a 308 and a nice chassis. To which our good buddy ROH8880 says, I am sitting at 1/4 MOA at 700 meters with my 308 gun sight Scout, looking to move to the next level.
Okay, first off, moving to the next level. There is no other level to go because you're already a record-breaking shooter.
Yes.
You're exceeding anything that I could teach you or anybody could literally teach you.
Now I'm going to confirm something here real quick, but I'm pretty sure
Now,
of something. I'm going to check real quick.
I own a gunsight Scout, and the barrel action, the Hawkeye action has never been, unless you shim it or true it or blueprint it. The Hawkeye action has never been crazy accurate, consistent. And the barrel on the gunsight Scout, if you're lucky, when you get a good one, is 1 MOA. Which is perfectly fine for its purpose, which is a sub 400 yard gun.
It's a scout rifle.
Yes.
And it does its job very well as a scout rifle. Because that's what it does. Now, somebody says, I'm pretty sure, positive that rifle isn't that accurate from the factory. What have you done to it so far? He responds with 4x19 to 40 Vortex optics and a bipod. And then says, am I doing this wrong? Never had anyone really teach me the proper lingo. Just what I've picked up from range junkies. Vortex doesn't make a scope that's 4 to 19 by 40 for starters.
No one makes a scope that's 4x19.
Right. But I want to say, So they do make a 4 to 12 by 40. But they don't make a 4 to 19 by 40. So basically, what this guy's saying is that he wants to spend 15. And if you go through his post history, the kid's an obvious troll, but it's just so much fun. It's what's funny for me is that so many people were so earnest in trying to correct him and didn't kind of pick up on the fact that he's completely full of shit and he's totally trolling. But the long and the short of it is that he's using a rifle that's not designed to shoot that accurately with a scope that doesn't exist off a bipod, and now he wants to turn around and spend $15,000 on a rifle so he can move to the next level. Now, it should be noted that some people said, that rifle is a scout rifle and you need a long eye relief scope. It should be noted that you can buy scope rails for traditional style scope mountings over the chamber, so you can have shorter eye relief scopes on that rifle. The Gunsight Scout's a great. It's a great rifle for what it is, but it's not a 1/4 MOA gun at 700 meters. It's not a 1/4 MOA gun. Period.
No. Just no. We get this questions in this vein a lot of people immediately want to recreate Battlefield or Call of Duty. Well, I'm not going to start hating on the Call of Duty kids because they, keep the lights on at the store. And it's great to have younger people interested in shooting. But, people get these grand ideas in their head, and they want to immediately jump to the top tier. Whereas you should. He's trying to start getting into this. You start at 25, 25 yards with a 220 with a 22. You know, it really is something that you want to start. Give yourself good basics learned. And our next question was from Zap again. He wanted to know what the best. Let's see here.
Is it something to do with faggots?
No.
Oh, really?
Ask who makes a cheap extension clamp with 1913 rail on it that works on the factory 870 extension. And honestly, the best clamp that I've used is a new forend. As far as because Mesa Tactical makes one, but it seems that I've never had luck with any of Mesa Tactical stuff.
No.
They make one, but as far as a good one that's cheap, you know, a new forend is where I would look to attach a flashlight to your shotgun.
In the Q&A app, Bartman is butthurt that I repped Masher, but not him. I'm sorry, Bartman. Next time I'll rep you.
I have no idea what you just said.
Because when I said, when I was talking about the kid, and I said somebody said it's a 1.75 inch group at 700 yards, I neglected to say it was Bartman that said it was a 1.75 inch group at 700 yards. And Bartman got his feelings hurt because I didn't name him by name. To which I'm eternally sorry. Please forgive me.
Oh, Zap was talking about wood on his shotgun. So as far as an extension goes, honestly, the only thing I can think of off the top of my head is the Mesa Tactical clamp. And you might get lucky with it.
Maybe.
But they're still about $80.
Yeah. So is it worth an $80 mistake? James says, you know that quarter MOA at 700 meter guy is Texas GI. Come on.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me, actually.
And James, 124 plus P gold dots. Gold dot.
For 9mm self-defense, 124. I don't need plus P because it's useless.
Dots.
And James says, Rich, Glock or FNH, no bias. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I'll take an M&P. Thank you.
Do I have to be on the show anymore?
He's asking Glock or FNH, so if we're talking polymer, I'm going to go with an M&P.
Mm-hmm.
I like M&Ps now. You know, I've fallen out of love with Glock. What
Sure.
can I say?
As long as you put an Apex trigger in it, then I'm fine. I can't stand that split trigger.
You gotta put a ghost kit in a Glock to make it feel good too. So it doesn't matter.
Or you just buy an HK.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna spend, twice what I would spend on an M&P on an HK. I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
See, look at this. Stock
okay,
trigger.
Moneybags. Okay, Moneybags.
Moneybags. This thing's $650. I paid $550 for mine.
No, I'm sticking with M&P. And the new M&P triggers are actually the new M&P triggers are amazing right now. As far as a stock trigger goes, for a polymer striker fired gun, the new M&P triggers are really good.
Well, it's okay to be wrong.
That's fine. That's fine. You don't have to agree with me, but I'm right.
Nice. That's a quality contribution in the Q&A app.
What did he say?
Oh, just M and gay.
Oh yeah. Well, what are you gonna get? What are you gonna do?
Uh, as far as
Browse
uh,
says I'm gonna go get some beer. Y'all need anything? I've got a beer, and plus, are you Andy? Are you in Texas right now, dude? If you're in
no,
Texas,
he's in California.
oh well, he's closer to you than he is to me.
Uh, Zap does agree with you on the trigger and the M&P is fine. I just don't like the split trigger. It just
The
bugs me.
the new the new MMP triggers, the ones that they've been using for the last 6 or 7 months or so, are as far as a stock striker fired pistol goes, a stock striker fired trigger goes. They're really good in comparison to the old MMP triggers, and they're you know amazing when if you try and compare them to um, you know the Sigma triggers, which is what they're based off of anyway.
Yeah, yeah. That's another gun that I do direct people to when they want first gun, first carry gun. The
Sigma?
SD9s. No, not Sigma. Yeah, the new SD9s. The new Smith and
Oh,
Wesson.
yeah, but that's not a Sigma.
No, but it's the same vein. It's they still have to pay $5 to Glock every time they make one.
Well, yeah, but it's not a Sigma. It's
No,
it's
of course
it's
not.
yeah.
Uh, let's see. Well, the only other thing uh, that we had on the agenda was talking about.
Well, Mike says IRC net split.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fixed. Well, it's not fixed, but it's broken. But who cares? It's just IRC. Do we have any other questions on Twitter or anything like that?
I don't see any, but Twitter's acting kind of weird right now, and it's not updating the hashtag. Either that or nobody's asking.
No one's asking.
Shut up.
Oh, I mean, Twitter's must be broken. Our our
Twitter
our
must.
our
My
thread has.
my plan to take over the Twitter sphere with the GTT live hashtag is not coming to fruition. So I'm gonna make excuses. It'll happen.
And uh, Zap did end up saying he could think of 8 manufacturers off the top of his head, and you know what? Then fucking pick one.
Eight manufacturers for what?
The rail section for his shotgun.
Then why
I
did he
don't.
ask the fucking question?
He just wanted to ask. I
Zap, are you
don't.
mad that you're not on the podcast with us tonight? Is that what it is? Are you just acting out because you're not up here with us?
No, he's going terrible lisses, and we should not. Uh, we should not continue with it.
I'm going to continue with it because I'm a dirty, dirty attention whore.
But there are a few that I can think of off the top of my head, but nothing that is cheap. You wanted cheap.
Yeah,
Find
that's
something
true.
else. Why are you mounting a light to a shotgun anyway? Run an AR.
Andy wants to know, where's the strippers I would told there would be girls? I don't know what to tell you, dude. Somebody lied to you.
Wait. Why the hell is he the free BSD devil? Jesus. What the hell kind of people are watching this?
Who knows?
Uh,
Eddie Martinez says Zap is always mad, which is true. Zap is always angry about something.
Zap doesn't want to be on our shitty podcast. He just wants a cheap one. Duct tape.
Super glue.
Oh,
Go down to
wait,
the dollar store and buy some super glue.
Briley makes one. But it's not cheap because it's Briley.
Mike Lynch says, "What's your favorite topping at Chipotle?" I'm assuming that that's directed at me because of my Chipotle, my open carry chuckleheads video. Um, Chipotle
Yeah.
sucks. My favorite topping at Chipotle is no topping at Chipotle.
I've actually never had Chipotle. We don't
It's
have one
terrible.
here. Uh, People
You're
tell
not
me I'm
missing
missing.
anything.
Uh, and Eddie is now trolling us in Q&A because he knows better about ARs and the proper self-defense ammo.
ARs overpenetrate and will kill my dogs. Oh, Jordan wants to know what is your favorite, your personal favorite gun? I'm a 1911 guy.
Yeah, 1911s. Easily. I've got one of the first guns out of a little outfit in Wisconsin that makes semi-custom 1911s, and it's probably my favorite 1911. And then my other favorite 1911 is a SIG, even though it's not really a a true 1911 because they are Series 80. Uh, but the damn thing can cloverleaf at 25 yards. So what else do I want out of it?
A Hummer? I don't know.
That's always a good thing.
Yeah, Hummers are always fun.
Uh, but we should start winding down before we run on for 4 or 5
Yeah, I
hours.
could do this. I could do this all night, and that would be bad. So I want to say thank you to the 12 people who tuned in, and
Oh, we got up to 20. We're at 21 right
uh,
now.
we'll see how it turns out. But for a first show, I don't think it's too bad. We're just working out the bugs and the format and everything else, guys, and we appreciate everybody listening or watching. It's going to be up on the audio only version is going to be up on iTunes. Maybe tomorrow,
Eventually.
maybe tomorrow, maybe Thursday. It's up to Omni. That's his department. So look for us on iTunes. Um, as far as if you want to get in touch with either of us, I'll put all of the Twitter and everything else in the description, in the video description of the live stream. As soon as we go off the air, I'll edit that with the description stuff, and so you can see the Facebooks and the Twitters and everything else. Don't forget about Red Fork Ammo. It's a big deal. I really, really, really need really need your support on this. Otherwise, it's just going to take forever, and nobody wants that. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And that's all I have to say on the matter. Omni?
It's been great. I think we had a fairly successful first run.
We went
Uh,
almost 2 hours without even realizing it. So yeah,
yeah, and we do need to work on this whole outline, and the dead air is a problem. But coming up with some more interesting topics would be great. Uh, I do want to make sure that we do connect to our guns well enough that we uh, that's part of our fan base. That's where we'll also put a copy of the the current stream.
we talk shit on our guns constantly, but the fact of the matter is that our guns is a very, very important community. I still maintain that it's the largest gun community on the internet today, and as such, it's a big deal. And it's a big deal, and there are some really talented, really smart people on our guns, and there's also a bunch of fucking assholes. And some of the time, those two things overlap. But our guns is a great community if you can weed through a lot of the bullshit and the memes.
You remember how I made the comment about 240 Bravos? Well, there's probably
Yes.
about a dozen of them now.
On our guns?
Yes. Uh, Zap is willing to come on if he can be text only. That was one of my original things. Is I didn't want to be live on the internets, but whatever.
You got over it. Zap, it's not, you can't be text only. It's a live stream, dude. It's a podcast. It's so you have to get on the air. You can
Well,
hide your face if you want, but
yeah, if you want, but you
you
have to
can
talk
you
because
can
I don't
wear
know how I
what
don't know
what
how well that would work for the podcast.
what's the what are those Mexican wrestling masks called?
Uh, Something Libre.
Yeah, something like that. You can wear a Mexican wrestling mask, or actually, Google Plus has a really cool app thing that you can like obscure your face, and you could wear little cat's eye glasses or whatever. So you could obscure your face if you want, but if you're going to come on, you have to talk. It's just that's the nature of the beast.
You know, one topic that I do want to cover eventually would be nice to go over taking nice photos. I can't
Totally.
harp on that enough. Getting that into one of the biggest reasons that I hate ARFCOM is every fucking picture is fucking terrible and has feet in it. I literally have had 3 or 4 people come to me and say, "Hey, I want to post this on ARFCOM, but I want my picture to look."
It should be noted that on redforkammo.com, if you go to redforkammo.com right now, all of the product pictures that include ammunition
Oh, they're not bad.
were taken by Omni. He did those pictures. The shitty pictures of the paracord bracelets and the targets and the decals, those are done by me, but the nice pictures of the product pictures were all done by Omni, and
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 they're
they're
not. I'm not talking about taking professional photos or anything like because nothing that I do is anything on professional grade. I'm just
no, but
talking
those
about
are 1,000
making
times
things
better than something.
just when you're posting pictures on the internet. Let's just not go down this whole thing because it's a whole
Yeah,
other topic.
it'd be a rabbit hole, and I think we've burned through 2 hours tonight. I think we should save something for next week.
Zap can wear a luchador mask. That I was corrected in what it was.
A luchador, that's right. Okay, you
Oh,
can totally wear a luchador mask.
somebody, Eddie Martinez, said something about a Kiritoto mask. I'm assuming that's something with anime stuff. So he can look lady pretty. I don't know. Um, Somebody asked how good of an idea is it to put a foregrip on a KSG, making sure that it has more contact than a little tiny nipple inside of one rail will keep both hands intact. See, I have them both.
I
They
don't even
haven't.
want the. I'm not going to talk about the KSG because it's an unmitigated piece of shit. And in closing, before we say good night, Bartman said something that I want to read. Where did it go? It was nice. Um, at least you guys don't mindlessly drone on like WLS. The audience feedback is very good. Great first cast. I love all the guys from We Like Shooting. I'm good friends with every single one of them.
One of our
I think what's gonna separate us from them is the fact that we're a smaller show with a smaller panel. So I can totally see what you're saying, but at the same time, they have an amazing show. And I'm not just saying that to kiss anybody's ass. I genuinely like every single person involved with that show. I've been a guest on it many, many times. They've been excellent to me as far as helping promote Red Fork. But I think the big thing is that they have such a big panel that it you know it for even for the size of the panel though I think it's a very well run show and I honestly hope that at some point we are as good as they are as far as professionalism goes and polish. We don't have that right now, and we're still working on it.
There's also the
But
fact that we like shooting. We like shooting. We don't want to be we like shooting. We're going to have
no,
our own. We want it to be our own show. It's a different format. It's not the same thing. It's going to be apples and oranges. We're going to have primarily audience interaction. That I think is a good method of covering topics that people find topical. What you and I, we can't be omnipresent on the internet. There might be something that we missed that happened this month, and
right.
having direct audience interaction due to the fact that we're smaller ends up making it a more vibrant
I think
show.
it makes it more entertaining. Absolutely. I think sitting here and reading the comments and stuff and doing that kind of stuff. It's I think that's what made these 2 hours go by the way they did. If people weren't asking the questions on Twitter and in the Q&A app, this would have been a very long and empty show. So honestly, the reason that we've gone as long as we have is because of the people asking the questions. One of the things that we want to avoid is I do gear reviews and I do gun reviews, and that's what everybody knows me as. But the problem with that is that manufacturers fucking hate reviewers, and there's a lot of reasons behind it. But the fact of the matter is I don't get nearly as much gear review as I used to, and so I have to fill my channel with other stuff in order to maintain my relevance in that space. And that's fine. I love doing it, but one of the points behind doing this show was to kind of branch off from just doing gear reviews and talk about stuff that maybe is more important to me.
There are so many gear review shows that they cram everything in there. That's really not what we want to do for this. Don't
get me wrong. If somebody wants to send us shit to review, like on a podcast, I'll totally do it. I'm not going to turn down gear. I'm not going to. I'm not going to turn down stuff. But that's not what the show's focus is going to be about. It's not what I want the show's focus to be about. I want it to be kind of organic and just kind of flow naturally. And whatever fucking happens, happens. Like I said, Opie and Anthony, but with more guns and less racist Twitter rants.
The one thing I do want to cover at some point in one of the next shows is definitely the Kunin project. At least get some traction for that.
And Andy's going to have to act. Andy, we got to get you on here. I don't know if you're even still watching, but we got to get you on here because there's so much has happened with that, with Kunin themselves actually getting involved. That my little bullshit video didn't do nearly as good for the project as I had hoped it would, and that makes me really, really sad because I had such high hopes for it. But Andy, we got to get you on here so you can talk about it yourself, because I've pitched it on every podcast I've ever been on, but it's just not gathering any steam. But now that you've got Kunin involved, you need to give us an update, and you got to get up here and do it yourself, dude.
We're also the next show we're going to end up. I want to do a new post instead of just editing an existing post. We'll drop the sticky, and because honestly, the only people that actively got a new link was IRC and Twitter. So it would be nice to drop a new post on.
You realize we're still live right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's what I'm saying. There have been people discussing it, and.
Well, that's the whole point behind the sticky. I told them that it would be updated, right before the show goes live, and I told them this time that the show was going live. So, that's why that was the whole point behind sticking it. But you could do a new post too. I don't give a shit. It doesn't really matter to me. But it's not just that. I mean, it goes out to all of my Facebook followers on both pages. It goes out to all of my Twitter followers on both accounts. So it's not just the half a dozen people who happen to check that thread. But yeah, I see what you're saying, and we can talk about that for sure.
All right. Well, I don't know how most people end their podcasts, but it's been a hell of a fun first show. At least been quite a few questions, and not all of them trolls.
Just mostly. Good night, America.